House leaders assure that there will be no amendments to include additional projects to the proposed supplemental budget. Again, here's Freddie Abando with the full story.
It was a marathon debate for the House in tackling their proposed 2015 supplemental budget of 2.467 billion pesos. Today, the House terminated the interpellations on key concerns raised by the opposition to question the urgency of the said measure, and among the concerns is whether the House will entertain possible amendments to be proposed by the DBM to include additional projects, since two certifications of fund sources from the National Treasury revealed an excess of 5 billion pesos earned from dividends of government-owned and controlled corporations and interest earnings from bond investments. House Appropriations Committee Chairman Isidro Ungab ruled out amendments to include new projects. No less than Speaker Feliciano Belmonte is against the DBM's proposal.
The supplemental budget will again form include some errata on this particular supplemental budget after we passed this on second reading, similar to what had happened in the deliberations of the 2015 budget.
The committee finally decided that in compliance to the Constitution, that once the budget is submitted to the legislature, in this case the House of Representatives, since all appropriations, tariff, revenue measures must emanate from the House, we believe that we can no longer accept any additional increase. Or in other words, since the budget is already received by the House could no longer increase any amount of what has been submitted by the executive.
ACT Party-list Congressman Antonio Tino pushed for the inclusion of an annex which will itemize every project identified as funded by the Disbursement Acceleration Program and the PDAF, which were suspended by the Supreme Court's unconstitutional decision. Ungab said there is no need since the departments with DAP funded projects provided a complete list of those discontinued with obligations. Tino claimed the supplemental budget is again pork. Ungab said otherwise.
The government can provide, the Malacanang can provide details for a 2.6 trillion peso budget. How can it be an impossible task to provide details for a 22.4 billion supplemental appropriation, Mr. Speaker? Hindi naman katanggap-tanggap yon.
It would be impossible for us to finish. For example, the DPWH listing that was presented to us by Secretary Babe Singson during the budget hearing, it's about this thick. And if you are going to mark that as an annex, as I have explained, I was seeking the understanding of the members in as much as there are requirements before unpaid projects could be included in that list. There is a cut-off. It should have been awarded. It should have been bidded out. There are collectibles, valid, legal, contractual obligations of the DPWH. But if you will get a copy of that, if we provide all the members as annex, it's impossible.
A major amendment is the deletion of 720 million pesos proposed for the Supreme Court, since it was included in the just approved 2015 national budget by the Bicameral Conference Committee. Majority of the amount will be added to the funds for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Yolanda devastated areas. Almost 10 billion pesos has been allocated for the construction of permanent housing for Yolanda victims. The 2 billion peso allocation for the PNP's transformation plan and the 1 billion peso fund for the updating of the DSWD's National Targeting System of the Poor for the CCT has been retained.
Ang alam ko lang na realignment based on the committee report is yung original na 720 million for e-judiciary because ay nailagay na yun doon sa BICAM na isama na yun mga senador. So yun lang ang tinanggal at yun ay meron yatang about 53 million na idinagdag doon sa 1.8B ng DPWH. Yung mga payables na because kulang yung kanyang dating isinama. And the rest ay dinala na lang sa Yolanda.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.